Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Life Issue and this is Blessing. I'm just waking up this morning, this lovely morning, first day of our holiday. It was really a stressful journey coming from London to Cornwall. I thank God I was able to make it with my family. I mean, we enjoy coming on holiday. It's always been very beautiful. Leaving your house, going somewhere to spend, even if it's just 4 days or 3 days or 2 days, just leaving your house and going somewhere. All right. And we don't have family in London. Like, we don't really have family. We have friends or acquaintance, but we don't have family. So when we got married, we said to make a family tradition, and that is to travel during Christmas. Since we can't go to Nigeria, we don't really want to travel to Nigeria. It will cost us more to travel to Nigeria. I mean, the amount of money that was spent in Cornwall is less than what was spent when we go to Nigeria, because in Nigeria it's not just the flight, it's the money that you will give to people, and the people expectation of you is too much. So we decided to have our own family tradition of going to Cornwall or any other place that CLC Word allows us to go to. All right, so this morning, what do you want to talk about? The year is about to run, to an end, and most people start setting their goals, and people start, thinking about what has this year been like. I mean, what is my next year going to be like? There is this end of a century, rap that is going out. Everybody, it's the end of a century. A new century is about to begin. I mean, hey, that new century, I'm going to be 50 in that century, okay? So for me personally, it's a time for reflection, okay? Because everybody needs to be thinking about, okay, it's a new year. What do I want to achieve? What do I want, to accomplish this new year? Like I keep telling people, I don't do New Year resolution because I don't believe in resolution. There's nothing I've done this year that I want to let go, because I have actually taken, before I do anything, I've prayed about it and I think through it. So what I have is what I want to achieve, what I want to do, not what I want to let go, because I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. I think resolution is something to let go, something to decide to stop or something. That's what people always take resolution to be. But why not think about what to achieve? So this morning, I'm relaxing before I go to the pool. Remember, I'm still showing you guys my holiday. This is my holiday room. And I want to talk about setting, your new year. How do you go into the new year? Tomorrow is going to be Christmas, okay? It's going to be so festive. Everybody's out there having fun today, buying presents, trying to wrap up the whole day. But you need to actually understand that a new year is coming, okay? You need to plan for the new year. Now, for my church, we start praying on the 26th, 27th. I think we do 27, 28, no, 28, 28, 29, 30. We do our prayer time. It's important that you take out time to pray. If you're not a Christian, whatever religion that you are, take out time to be with your maker, to reflect on what the year that have just passed has been like, to thank him, to worship him, okay? And then you now think about the new year. I keep telling people, okay, write down what you want to accomplish. What do you want to accomplish next year? Write it down. And don't do it without being in prayer. Make sure that you are doing it prayerfully. So even before the year before first of December, the first night, take out time. If you're a family man, if you're married, you and your family needs to sit down and ask yourself a question. What do we want to accomplish? What is those things that we want to do in the new year? And wife and husband needs to agree, because the Bible said that if two people don't agree, it will not work. You need two of you agreeing on those things. Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to change your jobs? You both need to sit down and agree on that and then work towards it. Like I keep saying, marriage is an agreement between two people, two adults. You cannot plan something and your wife is not aware of it. It will not work. Both of you are not agreeing. But when she's aware and she's in line with it, then she knows how to pray. And both of you are praying alike, okay? So first thing to do is to write it down. Write down your plan. Make sure it's written. I love the concept of writing something down, because I can actually go back and check. Now on this year 31st night, I will show you guys what me and my husband wrote last year. I did it online when I was writing it. So I'm going to show you what we wrote last year and how far we have accomplished it. Because if you write something down, you need to actually go back and check. If you don't write it down and you have it in your head, you don't know if you accomplish it or not. So you need to write it down. Make sure that you write it down. Now, there is a concept that I want you to use. It's SMART. Use SMART. Don't write something that is unachievable, something that is so big, so bogus that you don't even know how to achieve it. Don't write something that because someone did it last year, I want to accomplish it this year. Write something that is your own dream, something that you want to accomplish, and you must make sure that it's something that is within your power. You cannot say, okay, I want to have 2 babies. Or I want when you know that you can only have 1 pregnancy, unless you know you're going to have a twins, but you're not. It's not in your control. You are not God. Do you understand? So write those things that are measurable and are achievable. Let me talk about using SMART. Okay. First of all, it has to be very specific. How do you want to accomplish that thing? What is that thing that you want to accomplish? Be very, very specific. I want to change my job. Write down how you're going to change your job. Which company are you going to be sending your CV to? Which job do you want to go for? You need to have these things in place before the new year, because you're going to go into the new year being specific and praying about that thing. If you want to get a new home, which city do you want to move to? How much accommodation is 2 rooms, 3 rooms? Be very specific. If you're not specific, God can't work with you. You cannot tell God, I want to work anywhere. Anywhere is what? Yes, now He will give you a job as a push barrow, or you give you job as Nigerians, over here, things like that is still a job anyway. But as a megad, yeah. So if you're in Western world, in Nigeria, they take megads or security as nothing. Well, but over here, we know it's something. So if in Nigeria, you give work that's not being specific. If you want, when I was looking for a job, when I was younger, when I was in Nigeria, I was very specific. I wanted to work in a bank. If you've known me from university years, I've always said I'm going to work in a Nigerian bank. I mean, I had conflict with my relationship, because I've always told them in uni, hey, I want to work in a bank. All right, alarm gone up. Alarm's gone off. What happened? Alarm. Did it happen here?
I don't know.
I think somebody just triggered the alarm. It's gonna go off. It's gone off. Alarm just went off now.
So scary.
It wasn't scary. I know it was an alarm.
Daddy, please. Daddy.
Right, so I was still doing my video. The alarm just went off. Daddy. Anyway, right, guys, I've gone back to my video. So you need to be very, very specific. It has to be very specific. I strongly believe, and I know that God can work with someone who doesn't know what they want. So very specific, SMART, measurable. M is measurable. How can you measure it? When God does that thing, I don't know what is going on. The alarm keeps coming off and going off. Babe, can you call the this thing? Do we all need to go? They've got the reception is 0 now. Let's see if we need to all go out. They've all gone. They left me here. Have you guys gone? And you left your mommy?
Please, can you play?
Wait, you guys went and you left mommy?
Yeah, mommy, but please, can you play?
Is that what you've asked them?
Please, can you play, mommy?
I'm doing something. I'm doing video.
Daddy doesn't want to play with me.
I'm coming. I'll come and play with you.
Daddy doesn't want to play.
All right, false alarm. Second false alarm. Okay, so it has to be very, very measurable. How can you measure it? How can you tell when God's done it? How can you tell? How do you actually tell yourself this has been done? I want to have money. How much is that money? How much will you have? And you say, okay, God, I'm satisfied, I'm happy. Do you understand? I want to, if it's not measurable, if you cannot measure, you cannot quantify what you want from God, how will God even know that He has satisfied you? So make sure that anything that you have on your goal is measurable. You know when it's done. Don't say, I want to be happy, I want happiness, I want joy like a river. How is joy measurable? There's no human being that can have joy 24 hours, 365 days. There must be days ups and downs. That is how the Bible made it. There must be days where you just don't want to talk to people. So make sure that anything you are putting on your goal this year is measurable, and that you yourself, you have the control over it. I've stopped letting people control it. I keep telling myself, you know what? If I don't like where I'm working, if I'm no more comfortable, I have the power to move. I've always done that right from Ankin Ye. I don't let people get me up. You can get me upset. I can get angry. I can even cry. But the point is, I've always had it in my mind that I have the power to change this. And the only way to change it is to work out. There's someone out there that requires my service. And if there's nobody, I will make my own service. I will create my own job. You must always have in your mind that there is something for you to do, something that God has made for you to do. And I keep telling myself, you know what? If I don't have my 9 to 5 job, I can create something. If I decide to make YouTube my career, I can make money out of it. So, always ask yourself a question. How can I measure what I want God to do? How do I quantify it? Don't write a bogus, I want to do this, I want to travel. You want to travel where? Be very specific. I want to go to America. We need to research. How do I get to America? How do I get to UK? What do I need to put in place to get to UK? What do I need to put in place? What are those things that American government are denying people for? You need to remove those things. Measure your demands. Just don't demand something without measuring it, without being able to know what to do and how to measure it. Another thing is reliable. Is what you are asking reliable? Is it doable? Can you rely on the steps that you're using to achieve that? Or are you just going to, anyhow, I'll get it, or anyhow, it will happen? No. Anything you want to achieve next year, any goal that you are setting, make sure that you can rely on yourself to achieve it. I don't want to talk about reliable on, I want relying on myself. I don't want someone else to help me achieve it. I don't want to hope that my uncle somewhere or my auntie somewhere can help me achieve it. Is it something I can do? Is there something within me that God has given me that I can use to achieve it? I've never in my life, you know what? I've always believed that God placed people on my way for a reason. I've never let my relationship become something that, is just there. I don't keep relationship that is not beneficial. That's me. Everything I do must have a purpose. If I have a relationship, I'm going out with somebody, it has a purpose. And when that purpose ends, I've always said, and people keep thinking, oh, bless you. Yeah, there is a limit. There is a time frame for everything. There must be a time frame. And I don't get it if there is no time frame. If somebody is no more relevant in your life, cut it off. If you are going out with this guy for how many years now and he has not proposed, it's time for you to cut it off. You want to get married in 2019 and you are still sampling. You cannot. When you are single and you are having fun, I believe as a single person, I'm not talking as a Christian now, I'm talking as someone who, was sometimes in the world, was sometimes, I had my legs up and down. Anyway, I'm being frank, but when it was time for me to get married, when it was time I wanted to get married, I let go of all things. I told God, you know what, it's not me and you. And I focused on him and I met my husband. But when I was having fun, I had my fun. And it was like, I knew the relationship was not going to lead anywhere anyway. So you need to ask yourself a question. I want to get married. I'm going to have a video. I'm going to do a video on this later today, on setting your mind setting your mind for 2019 when it comes to marriage. I'm going to talk about it later today. All right. But the point is, make your plan reliable. Any plan that you're making, don't depend on people to help you accomplish it. What can you as a person? Do you need to read? Because if you want to get a job in Nigeria for banking, you must know your GMATs. You must apply. You must send your CV. You must read the newspapers, the dailies, to get where the vacancies are. You must go to the banks and find out when they are recruiting. You must make sure that your CV is accurate. If there's no mistake, there's no error, that is fit for purpose. You must be reliable. So if you're not doing the things that is required of you, how can someone else employ you? If you're not pursuing those things, if you're not reliable, if you're not self-sufficient, if you're not confident in yourself, how can someone else employ you? So make sure that your goals are reliable, that things that you can accomplish, that small steps. Okay? Don't say, I want to buy a Lamborghini by the end of the year. You don't even have a job. Unless you want to be Yahoo. You don't have a job. You want to buy a Lamborghini by the end of 2020. Hey, century is coming. It's a new century. I'm buying a Lamborghini. Job, get. And you're setting a goal of, I want to buy a Lamborghini. Now, which from your village will give them to you? So make sure your goals are reliable. That means, why don't you buy bicycle first? Buy keke. Buy Okada. These are steps. Then you can now buy a car second hand before first grade. Okay? As you see me, my husband said, go and change car. I don't want to change car. I want to buy my own house. I want a big house with a big garden. That is what I'm saving for. That is all I'm thinking about. All of my prayer point now is I need a house. I need a house in the UK. I need to have my own mortgage. I can't continue paying rent in the UK. No. I need to have my own mortgage. And I'm setting, when you set those steps, I'm putting money aside. I deny myself a lot of things. I should have a new nightgown. I didn't buy. I should have my hair done Brazilian. Did you see me wearing Brazilian? No. That money, I keep saying it, I am not stingy to myself, but that 500 I will give somebody for Brazilian is money for my mortgage. Women, we need to start getting sense. We need to start thinking. If you are married to your husband and he's your husband, you guys should be building businesses and fortune and leave all those things that are not relevant. See, as I cut my hair, see, am I not looking fine? Am I not looking slay? Which Brazilian passed this hair and it's making me look younger and prettier. Remove 10 years from my age. So it has to be reliable. The next one is, I'm talking about SMART. So I've thought specific, measurable, achievable. Yeah, I didn't talk about achievable. Of course, achievable is also reliable. It has to be something they can achieve. They have to be reliable. And the last one is time. Please, one of the things that make people very frustrated in their New Year targets or in their what's it called now, goals is that you put a 5 years target on a 1 year. How can you do it now? You be witch, you be wizard or witch. If you are making a target, please look at where you are now before you make the target. Where are you now? Make a 1 year target, not a 10 years in one target. Forget the miracle, forget. Okay? If your faith is not that stretched, that you are not a Pastor Chris or Pastor Ayedipo, that you can do 20 years something in 1 year, please don't do it. Make a 1 year achievable target that you can achieve. All right? So make sure that you can do those things within 1 year, humanly possible. All right? And that it is within your power to accomplish. So, and it has to have a time frame. If you want to do this, tell yourself, like, now, I've already set my next year holiday. I have a time frame for it. So by this week, I must book my next year holiday for June. And I must pay my flight ticket before January because it's cheaper for me. I've set my target. I have my time frame, what I'm going to do. I've told myself by so and so time next year, I've put a time frame for those things to happen. I must have saved this amount of money. I must set my credit record right, because I don't know what's happening with my credit record. It's becoming frustrating. So I'm going to start calling them. You need to set those things in place. Put a time frame. Put a time frame. And make sure that those time frames are doable and achievable. Finally, God first. And I keep saying it. My life is the way it is today because of God. It's not my power. It's not by might. It is by the Spirit of God. No matter whatever you do, God comes first. He is the giver of life. He is the taker of life. You can do Happy New Year, Happy New Year. But if you are not with God, if you're not at the right place on that 31st night, how are you sure that the Maker will not call your life? Not many of my friends that started this year ended it with me. I've had so many, because I'm in a lot of WhatsApp group, I've had so many payments for burial, and I'm like, God, when you are young, yeah, your mom's and dad's friends are the ones, mom is always going for village. She's going for this burial. She's going for this burial. And to you, it has been, well, it was like, auntie, this auntie is dead. This, now it's no more auntie. It's getting closer home. Friends that people that are now dying. So you should know that life is not yours. You cannot guarantee it. You can only pray. Forget all these, you live forever and ever. I know it's going to happen one day, but the point is, reality of our life now is we have not yet started living forever and ever. So always put everything that you're doing to God. Go to church on 31st night. Leave club. Leave women. Leave London Tower bonfire or whatever. Make sure that on 31st night that you have God with you. Cross over with God. Give that year to God. If you don't want to go to church, if you don't believe in church anymore because of what is happening, in your own home, with your own family, sit down and cross over breaking bread. There is significance of breaking bread, of that blood, of that body being broken on the 31st night. No one can understand apart from the devil. Break bread. Talk to God about what you want to achieve in the new year. And let me tell you, all of my life I've done this, and God knows that I have always had results because I've always put God first. You cannot catch me dead on 31st night anywhere. Even if you tell me to come and take 5 million, I am not going. I must be in church on the 31st night. I don't care. I must be in church. Money cannot stop me from not being in church on the 31st night. God first in everything that you do. Make sure that you put him first, and he will sort out every other thing you have written. So I'm going to recap again. Get a book. Write down everything you want to achieve next year. Write it down so that you can actually refer back to it when God is doing it, so you can give him thanks. The Bible said that there is a vision, we need to write it down. There's a reason why God says write down the vision, because he wants you to know when he's doing it. He wants actually you to be able to give him thanks when he's doing it. So if it's in the Bible to write down the vision, you have a vision, you have something you want to accomplish, you have something you want done in 2020, write it down. Now, when you've written it down, pray about it. Cross over praying about it. Go to your 31st night with those things written down and pray about it. Cross over praying about those things. See those things in your eyes. See them accomplished. Look at the vision of those things happening on the 31st night. Then, make sure that you use SMART when you're writing those things. It has to be very, very specific. It must be measurable. It must be achievable. It must be reliable. And it must have a time frame. Thank you very much for watching me. Let's make 2020 a beautiful year for everyone. That is why I'm making this video. God blessed me so much this year. I mean, the things I accomplished this year, I didn't know I was going to be able to accomplish it. I've had my times of ups and downs, but my good was better. I mean, the businesses I laid my hands on, God blessed me. So I want you guys to know how I achieved what I achieved is by writing. And I did show you. I wrote it down. I prayed about it. I went to church. I made sure that it was achievable. It was smart. I use smart. I've always used smart. So let's enter the new year together. Okay? Let's talk together. And I want my YouTube channel. I want people who are watching me. I mean, I show my family, I show my life, not because I want to show, just because people to see. Do me and my husband have issues? Yes, we do. But marriage has ups and downs. So I show the world my life because I'm a YouTuber and because hey, that's what life is, isn't it? But I want you to know that everything is possible when you put God first. All right. Thank you so much. We're going down now to have our breakfast. If you want to come with us, you have to go to our Facebook channel, our group channel on Facebook, because that's where I show my family and friends my time in Cornwall. I'm going to come back here and talk about marriage in 2020. And I'll give my own sincere advice, okay, to young girls who wants to marry next year. All right. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.